Bang, bang. The dinner party went down, 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 down. Oh, wow, oh, wow. Have a little sing song. Adam Light, Married at First Sight. Good night if you're going to bed. Morning if you're picking us up in the morning. Wow, wow. Let's discuss episode 15, I think now. We may be up in big numbers. Usually, the Married at First Sight UK seasons are done at this point, and there's still so much to go. So, just to let you know, they've brought in two new couples, which was Matt and Gemma, and then they've also brought in Sophie and Jonathan, who, in fairness, were quite an interesting couple of matches that on first, yeah, face of it seemed like they were going to work. So they've introduced themselves at the dinner party, and it seemed to be a really, really warm welcome for them. So I think they've both got their own very slight issues, more so with Matt and Gemma, but I think this was an opportunity for them to, well, you think, hopefully show that they both got united fronts. One of the couples did really, really well with that. One of the couples didn't. So dinner party, they all sat, had a meal together, and unfortunately it ended in tears with Gemma and Matt. But that's again an interesting situation. So I don't know if you've tuned in and picked up yesterday's episode. But my point with Gemma was, I like the fact that she put her heart on her sleeve. I like the fact that she was being genuine. And I think she really has toned it down. I think she had toned it down. There's a few points my head was in my hand. I was going, don't even mention sex at all. But you can imagine over the course of, especially when there've been that much separation, over the course of the dinner party, that opportunity would have arisen, and clearly took it, and it's led just to fireworks. I think now it's just to see this whole Daily Mail exclusive and that look between Whitney and Matt, and it just seems like that's written on the wall, doesn't it? I'd said yesterday, I wonder whether he's checking out, whether that's it. Checked out of the relationship on the honeymoons, decided that's it. And again, that's a shame, because I felt like some potential there. But what do we think? Guys, let me know. What do you think in relation to that one? Because I feel that, as I said yesterday, there was some growth there, and it was a shame that that kind of wasn't seen, and there was those few days away when they were in Portugal, so it seemed to be that time apart that I think if they were back together would have been hopefully coming in a bit more of a united front. And even with Matt, I mean, I guess both of them came in and seemed to feel like they were drawing their war lines and saying that things had been negative. But for me, I disagreed with the experts when Matt was there saying right in front of Gemma some of the negatives. I felt that was again. I wouldn't have wanted to sit there and hear it. You want the world to swallow you up a little bit, wouldn't you? However, being honest. So let me know what you guys think. It was just an interesting dynamic there. Unfortunately, if it ends in being a little bit naughty outside the vows that you've shared, which both of those guys had particularly good vows, with Matt with his little rhyme. But I do think clearly the writing's on the wall with this one, but we'll see how that's all going to play out. Will be interesting. Of course, the dynamic came back up with the Shanita argument. I love how Shanita handles herself and respectfully did try and ultimately diffuse the situation like it's okay. But I love the fact that Thomas still feels aggrieved about it. I think that was a lot of shouting, and that would be one of those things where party alcohol's got involved, and for me, everyone would be like, I liked Adrian's calling, calming across the whole situation. And I love how Thomas has grown to just be able to listen to and ultimately respect that. And they walk off together for a calming chat. But again, apart from the raised voices, I get that one. I don't know if anyone else has been in a situation where you can't, having a liar or thief or anything along those, like murderer or whatever the case might be, that's something such a strong kind of accusation, you really will want to clear your name. To as much of a degree as you possibly can based on whatever evidence you've got. And whether this was good editing or not, I don't know. But April looked guilty as sin. However, with April, I do have to kind of take a little step back. Am I being too sensitive here, guys, you let me know, but I feel like I've maybe judged her a little bit early, even to the point where I thought she was going to be part of the affair. And I'm happy sometimes to be right, but a lot of the time I get these things wrong, and I was happy on this one, I think. However, the season is, of course, a long one. Let's see how it plays out at the end. So loved a few of the little dynamics of how they got back in, and that couple looks, again, really quite strong. So we shall see. And loved how everybody welcomed them into the group. But Whitney, Duca, not even the Friends vibe. Bless Duca for kind of giving it a crack. However, Whitney, and he got to the point where I'd even said, maybe she's not going to go that far. It's like she's seen the Katie Hopkins blueprint to fame, and he's going for that. And yeah, it's not a very good one. I can only hope that she hasn't seen the show before, and therefore you see the blow up, and anyone who's seen Married at First Sight Australia, any of the Married at First Sight, you know how this can blow up. So I just don't know whether she's coming with some intention. I don't know. We will have to see how this one plays out, but for me, love how, again, on a few of these situations today, people dealt with them like adults. They got up, they walked away from the situation, removed themselves, took a moment to calm down and kind of try and handle it well. I would have liked to see a little bit more sensitivity, people selecting their words a little bit better in relation to, again, some of the things that they were trying to put across. But I do think there's some explosions coming up for a couple of the couples that I've really quite liked. And unfortunately, I think Jenna and Zoe are going to be on that. And they seem really good at the dinner party. But I've got a feeling that even that little clip, and I had a feeling before that today, I thought there's going to be some potential blow up here. But Adam Light, Married at First Sight, the reality show. Again, stick with us, as I'm going to be checking out some quite popular ones that are, again, reality shows, 90 Day Fiancé. I really want to do 60 Days In, and then the new Married at First Sight Australia, but I might work out when that comes into the UK, and we'll do it all together again on all four. But yes, Adam Light, Married at First Sight, sleep tight.